Deep rift lies at the back of Biden's complaint of oil and gas enterprise. Washington. U.S. President Joe Biden has publicly criticized oil and gas executives for banking huge income from high fuel expenses, but he has not often spoken without delay to the heads of power businesses or their representatives, White House information and interviews with industry sources show. Biden stated at a labor union event this month that ExxonMobil Corp. NYSE, XOM, made extra money than God this 12 months, and dispatched a letter to 7 oil and fuel businesses calling on them to increase manufacturing to ease the load on consumers. His real engagement with electricity enterprise officers is uncommon, however, consistent with the industry resources and facts, a marked evaluation to Biden's meetings with pinnacle executives in retail, logistics and agriculture, because the authorities grapples with inflation at a 40-year high and deliver chain snarls. Gas costs on average at the pump have not been as high for many years, along with at some stage in the late 70s energy disaster. The Biden White House's testy relationship with the fossil gasoline enterprise has grown even greater complicated as Russia's invasion of Ukraine cut international strength elements and dispatched crude oil and herbal gasoline expenditures skyrocketing. Biden, who campaigned on a promise to lessen dependence on fossil fuels which contribute carbon emissions connected to climate alternate, is leaning at the industry to cut down inflation. Oil and gas agencies are reaping better profits than they have in decades and commonly returning that providence to shareholders inside the shape of buybacks. Industry executives whinge Biden isn't requesting help in the right manner. Your management has largely sought to criticize, and at instances vilify, our industry, Chevron NYSE, CVX CEO Michael Wirth wrote in an open letter to Biden released on Tuesday. The outreach from the management is missing, said Frank Macchiarola, a senior coverage gov at the American Petroleum Institute alternate body. Asked approximately the Chevron CEO's letter, Biden mentioned, "I didn't realize they'd get their feelings harmed that without problems." CARROTANDSTICK approach. The Biden administration has forged a carrot-and-stick relationship with many corporations, criticizing a few company practices and egging on unions whilst supplying a few industry-friendly changes and Hansen aid on problems like backed-up ports. Last year, the White House held 4 meetings with leader executives to tackle a deliver chain disaster that caused a shortage of goods across the Christmas holidays. Biden participated in 3 of these, consistent with White House facts, none involved oil and gas businesses. White House officers worked intently with tech corporations to scale down incorrect information about COVID-19, executives involved advised. Biden met outlets and infant formulation producers as his management tackled a shortage of child method. However, he has met solely as soon as with leader executives of Exxon, Chevron and ConocoPhillips NYSE, COP, as part of a bigger briefing of strength, production, shipping and banking to speak about the Ukraine crisis, a March occasion hosted with the aid of the Business Roundtable. This month, when Exxon and Chevron asked a White House assembly for their chief executives, they noticed Brian Dees, who heads Biden's National Economic Council. When asked by means of on June 20 if he's going to take a seat down with oil and gas CEOs, Biden stated, "No, due to the fact my group is going to do this." The White House said in a statement that in addition to the numerous meetings with cabinet secretaries, oil enterprise executives have met with White House officials on greater than a dozen separate events during the last year. A White House authentic did now not provide a breakdown of while the conferences have been carried out and who participated in them. President Biden has made clean that he is ready to use all of the equipment available to him to lessen gas prices for the American humans, the Legit stated. The departure of Cedric Richmond, director of the Office of Public Engagement, has coincided with much less touch within the White House, enterprise officers said. Biden's weather advisor Gina McCarthy, who has often met with oil and fuel enterprise officials inside the past, isn't always taking such conferences. Biden directed U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm to convene an emergency assembly with enterprise officers, which is scheduled for Thursday. Gas prices are political Western sanctions imposed on Russia for its invasion of Ukraine caused low resources of fuel and oil in Europe, forcing European international locations to compete for barrels with the USA.